Okay, this is practice 5, number 2, as an example. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do is look at the velocity versus time graph that's given, okay? And first, whoa, this is hard. Okay, first check out where the axis is. Do you see here's the 0, right? And then here's the y-axis. Okay, so make sure you're reading it correctly, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the values that we have. All right, so at 0 seconds, the point is here, which is at 12 meters per second. Okay, at 1, it's at 10. Okay, and then you'll start to see the pattern. There's always going to be a nice clean pattern. At 2, it's 8, right? Then 6, 4, 2, and then 0. Okay, all the way down to here. All right, so what direction is the horse moving in this graph? Positive. Can I write out here? Yes, I think I can. Okay. Positive direction because it's above the the x-axis. That means he's moving in a positive direction, okay? He's also slowing down because he's going from a velocity of 12 meters per second to a velocity of 0 meters per second. So that means he's positive direction and he's also slowing down, okay? All right. Okay, so now let's take a look at how we're going to get the position graph. All right, so you have to look and see what shape it is. This shape is a triangle. All right, and I'm going to shade it all the way down to the axis. Okay, so here I have the triangle. So I'm going to be using the area as 1/2 base times height of this triangle. Okay, 1/2. When I look here, the base of the triangle here is 6 seconds long. Okay, 6 seconds is the base, and then the height of the triangle here is 12 meters per second. That's the velocity. 12 meters per second. Okay, so when I multiply this together, 1/2 of 6 is 3. So 3 times 12 is 36 meters because the seconds are going to cancel. Okay. All right, so I have to look and see, I have to switch to my other screen to see what the initial position was of it. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. Okay, all right, so this one says the initial position of the horse is 2 meters. Okay, so it's telling me, yikes, that's not what I wanted. Okay, it's telling me that it's 2, why is it not working? There we go, 2 meters, okay? And I know he traveled a distance or a displacement of 36 meters. So by the time he gets to 6 seconds, he has to be at a position, whoops, of 38 meters. Because 2 plus 36 more is going to make 38. Okay, so I can label out my position graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I need to get all the way to 38 meters. So let's see if I can go 10, 20, 38. No, I'm going to probably just have to go by 10. It's kind of lame. Like to spread it out, but there's not really space. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay? All right, so all you're required to do is the first point, which is 0, 2. And the last point, which is 636. Oh, so, whoops, sorry, 638. Sorry, 38. All right, and I know I'm going to connect these points. Gators. All right, here, and I know that this guy is slowing down, okay? So he has to start with a steep slope and then kind of flatten out. So it's going to kind of look like, kind of like that. Boy, it's hard to draw with this, okay? So it's going to be a curve, but it's going to be kind of downward facing because it needs to start off with a really steep slope and then get to a flatter slope. That shows that it's slowing down. Okay? All right, so that's how you draw the graphs. Okay, now, how do I make a new one of these? Let's see. Do not save. Okay, and, all right. Okay, so now we're here, okay, and this is the bottom of the page. So, oh my gosh, holy moly. Okay, there, fine. Okay, let me just get this back going again. All right, Okay, so the total displacement of the horse, we use the area, should have been delta x was 36 meters. So when he started at 2 meters, he ended up at 38 meters because 2 plus 36 makes 38, okay? His initial velocity was 10 meters per second, and the final velocity was 0 meters per second, okay? That whole, oh no, sorry, it wasn't. Too many problems in my head. Sorry, it was 12. Sorry, the initial velocity was 12 meters per second, the final velocity was 0 meters per second, and the time that it took was 6 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little different under here. So when I calculate my acceleration, it's change in velocity over change in time. So the final velocity was 0 meters per second, and the initial velocity was 12 meters per second. Okay, the final time was 6 seconds, and the initial time always, if it's starting from the beginning of the graph, will be 0 seconds. So that gives me negative 12 meters per second in 6 seconds, which is negative 2 meters per second per second. This is the acceleration. Okay, and what does this tell me? Okay, for every 1 second, okay, this guy here, for every 1 second, the horse's velocity decreases, because it's negative here, decreases by 2 meters per second, right? That's why the velocity table went 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, because it's decreasing by 2 every time. This guy is slowing down, okay? Please do not say something like this. For every 1 second, the horse moves or travels or goes. It's not doing that. That's a velocity. This has to say a change. Changes, decreases, increases, right? It has to have a changing word in it, okay? So this horse, as we said before, is moving in a positive direction. Hint, everything that accelerates in this class will move in a positive direction. There's no other choice. That's always the answer, okay? And it will be slowing down, okay? All right. For the motion map, just so it's not too super confusing, okay, label this just like we did before, the same increments as in your position graph. Okay, the initial here I think was 2, right? Okay, and the final was 38, and that was at 6 seconds. This is at t equals 0. Okay, so I have to fit 5 more dots in here, but mainly we need to see that this motion map shows the object speeding up. Okay, so you have to fit them in here somehow. It's a little difficult to do, but make sure you start really close, because the next dot literally is probably like right here. Okay, the next one might only be like right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, that's even 2. That's even not super good. Okay, because these are going to get bigger, bigger. That probably should have been a little bit more, bigger, and then bigger, right? Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you do the fancy thing to get these extra numbers up here, that's fine. But if not, that's okay. Just make sure that these look like the arrows are getting bigger. Okay, so start the first couple really, really close. There's a lot closer than you think it should be. Okay, all right, so that is the end of that one.